Oz Fortress has been considered the weakest out of the main regions for TF2, with NA and EU being the main contenders for best region. And with there not being much intercontinental play for this game, we've seen teams like Tech and like a G6 on the NA side showing absolute dominance above everybody else in the region, and Witness Gaming EU doing the same thing in the European region, but we haven't really gotten to see these teams actually playing each other all that often due to ping issues. And each region of course has their own style of play, with the Europeans typically going slower, Americans playing a bit faster, but Australia continues to be surprising by playing the fastest out of the big three regions. And the game we'll be going over today, though, will be featuring the aforementioned Tech and Aussie division of Witness Gaming. On the side of Tech is a pretty stacked roster. Players such as Benny have been on Tech since its inception in 2014, helping them place first in the majority of their games. But Benny's not just a generally skilled and rounded player, he's also considered to be the best player of all time by many. Tech also has a Beeb on their team with a track record similar to Benny, and who is widely regarded to be one of, if not the best demos in NA. Whereas Witness Gaming AU has only been a team for 4 years with a record of 6 total games as a team. Their team members do have good track records, with most of them getting majority of first places throughout their careers, but because of the general track record of Tech and its members being such a good team, this game looked like it could just be a relatively easy victory for them. But you probably read the title, so let's see how Witness Gaming AU overcame such a high mountain. First though, for those of you not in the know, I'll be doing a brief overview of how 6's the main format works, and teams are split up into 6 players of course, with each team having 2 scouts, 2 soldiers, a demo man, and a medic. The team is basically split into these 2 groups, the combo and the flank, where the combo consists of your medic, demo, pocket scout, and pocket soldier, whereas the flank consists of the flank scout and roamer. And why the roamer is called that instead of just flank soldier is because the roamer does just that, roams the map. Yes, you are more active on the flank, but due to your insanely high mobility, you can very easily scout for your team or bomb in and trade for a kill. Scout is good in 1v1s and is hit scan. Soldier has high burst damage and mobility on top of a high health pool. Demo man has highest burst damage with pipes and stickies, and medic of course for the healing and uber. The 4 classes here are set in stone as the most consistent classes, whereas classes like sniper and engineer are typically reserved more for special occasions due to them being more inflexible. Pro TF2 though is an incredibly fast game, so 5 CP maps, the most common map type, are first to 5 in 30 total minutes, with exceptions if things go too long. That is a quick overview, but go check out others like Dynam and Wild Rumpus in the description if you want to learn more about the pro scene. The main map I'll be going over is Process, the last map. At the beginning we see something every team does, and that's rollouts. Each class has dedicated rollouts they're wanting to take, and we see Inrith and Connor setting up right at the beginning for a quicker rollout so they don't have to take the time to walk forward. And at this high of a level of play, being late by a second or two basically gives the enemy team the advantage of taking the space they want, so doing this is absolutely mandatory. And because Inrith was so quick, we actually see him beat Habib into the mid, but Patty was also equally as quick and able to take height, so Inrith is forced to disengage. Further then sends Laz in for an early bomb, and everyone else on the team hits the gas. Laz gets Inrith with Lau and Connor going down shortly after. Witness AU though, despite being down 3-5, managed to secure 3 more kills with a very important one onto Habida, which actually gives him about a 15% uber advantage. Both teams set up on second, which benefits Witness AU since it gives him the safety net of 1 more point before last. Petty does get low at 1 point, but has Brand Slam to back him up, and with Witness AU being distracted by them on the flank, Laz goes in for a high bomb, drawing a lot of attention, which is again the signal for Furyo to hit the gas, which secures him 3 kills. Benny that stays back to cap, while the rest of Furyo going in really hard. This is bad news for Witness AU since their Uber got forced out, putting them at a big disadvantage, though not without trading Brand Slam in the process, which gives them time to set up a last hold. Silvo swaps off to Sniper and Cookie onto NG for the level 3 sentry. They swap here since Scout is not as good at holding a last point though, and Furry Ubers the far left, sending Habib straight into Inrith for an early kill, but Witness AU immediately fight back. Silva gets a pick and swaps back to Scout, with Connor getting 1 soon after 2. Lau and Downer both die here, and Connor falling shortly after makes it a 2v4, but that doesn't matter for Silvo and Cookie, who reverse the fight in epic fashion, not even taking a single hit. This gives Witness AU their 2nd point back, and now it's a waiting game to see who goes first. Witness AU Ubering aggressively, gaining midpoint, but no kills off of it, and because of that, Furyo clap back and win a fight going back to 2nd point, and Patty then bombs in aggressively, finding no one and dying, but Down and Connor do die, and Silvo is still respawning from the fight on 2nd, which forces Witness back to last. And after another crazy fight, Witness AU still holds on to their last point. Silvo though swaps the Sniper and uncommon pick for a non-last hold, but this could give Witness AU an early advantage. And Witness AU gets pushed back to last though, but Silvo shows off exactly why the Sniper was a good swap, immediately killing Patty before he can even get in, and then getting a 2nd kill right on the Benny afterwards, completely denying Furyo any chance of pushing this point. Going back to 2nd, Laz gets picked, probably trying to get a trade of his own, but because of this, Witness can just take mid for free without any fight. Witness AU do make a mistake here though, misjudging the situation. They Uber onto mid, where they get no value, giving Furyo the huge Uber advantage. And with that add and a quick push from Furyo, Witness loses 3 and is forced once again onto last. After a long while and a good bit of setup, Furyo Ubers in to take out the sentry, but lose Habib in the process, which once again gives a signal to hit the gas, where where Witness AU managed to get 5, including Habita on medic, which gives him a major advantage in Uber, as well as giving them mid. Witness goes in for a high bomb Uber play and gets Patty, giving them second but no extra space, which lets Freyr quickly Uber back to get their point back. But then the play repeats itself with Witness AU getting second and Freyr stuck on last. Down does try to go for a quick back cap, but gets shut down. Freyr once again shows they're not out yet and get the point back. And Witness AU make another mistake here with their Uber wanting to play first. They pop way too early and down a man. They do find an important pick onto Habita, but losing Lau in the same fight gives Freyr this slight Uber advantage due to respawns. And after long back and forth with another questionable Uber from Witness AU, they somehow managed to win a fight with down a player, with Silvo getting a disgusting stagger kill on the Habita. With another really good push from Witness AU, they just barely managed to not cap last, forcing the round to continue. And off of this play, Freyr takes all the momentum they need to reverse roll it all the way to last, finally closing this round to an end. Witness might have been able to hold this point a little bit longer if they were able to disengage quicker, as down dies, putting them at a big player disad. Since they have to retreat into spawn to stabilize though, this also gives Freyr the exact time they need to secure the high ground above spawn, letting them easily punish Witness AU's attempt to fight back. And after 18 minutes, we finally go into round 2. And with an insane mid fight, we start round 2. Witness AU loses to immediately but clap back and kill Habita and Habib just as quick. Down falls shortly after, then Lau making it another 2v4, but with a major health advantage. Witness AU gets 2 more, but then Connor falls, leaving it all up to Cookie, who then proceeds to lock the fuck in, killing Laz and showing the Unk Banny that the Youngblood has got it, giving Witness the mid. Down then proceeds to hit the most insane high bomb into an air shot, destroying Habita immediately and completely shutting out Freyr Tech's Uber. And while he dies, it doesn't matter at all since he got the 1 kill he needed to get. After a slow fight on second, Freyr moved forward, but Silvo pulls off the most devious flank and secures a round win for Witness AU in a fantastic back cap. Round 3 starts off bad for Witness AU as they lose the first mid fight, but they manage to secure a key pick on the Habita, which means even Ubers for both teams. Freyr caps second, as well with Inrith somehow not dying after taking 240 damage from Habib's sticky trap, leaving him at 2 HP. Honestly, I'm not even sure why they thought to peek there, as there wasn't much he could be doing. Freyr do misplay their push onto last, with Habib getting too aggressive and dying, with Branslam and Patty also falling shortly after. Both teams Uber with nothing happening, which for Witness spells bad news as they couldn't gain any kills or even any ground off of this, forcing them back to holding last. But it doesn't matter, Silvo just says piss off to Habib, immediately doming him, with Cookie killing Laz right after. And then he does go down, Patty's left at 32 HP, which means he can't do much of anything. It comes down to a scout medic duel on both sides, with Silvo once again forcing Banny to leave, but Banny immediately goes down with the turn of Connor, and Connor tries to go onto Habita to secure the kill, but just barely misses, and Freyr takes this as an opportunity to clap back. Witness again just doesn't care, killing both Laz and Patty down 1. Witness then tries to make a push onto second after capping mid, but Freyr shuts him down in glorious fashion, hitting a double air shot on down, immediately stuffing the push. Silvo does go down alongside Branslam, evening out the mid. Silvo once again says, "I'm better than you" to Froyo, and comes back on sniper and doming Habib, who was overextended. Witness AU keeps up the pressure, which forces Froyo to expend their own Uber, and with only down dying, they're still sitting pretty. Going to the last push, again Witness AU Ubers Inrith, taking down the sentry and doing a ton of damage to Froyo's combo, but down comes back in and gets 2 kills and goes down himself. It just doesn't matter though, Cookie gets a 3rd kill, Froyo gets a couple of their own too, but once again Silvo just makes the most insane play to frontline sniper and just walks onto the point, giving the Aussies last. The final round, round 4, starts off a little slow and then both teams full bomb in. Witness does lose Lau, but Patty and Laz get traded along with Branslam, and even Habita falling shortly after, denying Froyo any chance at having an Uber ad. And after Witness cap mid, Silva once again pulls out the sniper, and at this point Witness just run down the clock because they don't need to play aggressively or push at all since they're very far ahead. Witness make a slight push on a second, with Patty responding in kind before getting popped into the air, where Silva once again gets a headshot. And with a 20% Uber ad, Witness hard commit on the last, finding Laz, putting themselves up a 6-4 in last fight territory. And I'm gonna just let this ending play out because Witness shows off in beautiful fashion on just how to cap him last fight.
That's an all-important flag. Just keep the rest alive as down as in high ground. We'll eat the dot. We'll move on in as they're distracted. Doesn't matter. As they move their Uber forward. Down holds it down. And Witness Gaming Australia knock out Froyotech.
This match is also history as Froyo got knocked out of an international tournament in not just 2nd, but in 6th place. Witness AU, or just the international Aussies in general, have always been kind of the underdogs. And Witness AU would then go on to 2-0 Balls, yes, that is the official team name, and then sadly have the run cut in 3rd place by the older brother of Witness EU. But this match I think was more important than either of the 2 matches they played afterwards, as an Aussie team finally took down such an American titan. With that, that's kind of the end of this video, and the reason I made this is because I was kind of inspired by the Coach OC videos, because I like his stuff on Overwatch since I do play that competitively as well, and I figured, hey, I've not seen anyone actually try to cover that in this style on Team Fortress 2, one of my favorite games, so might as well try to do that. This is also my first time doing a video like this, so let me know in the comments if you want me to cover the grand finals of the LAN as well, if you liked it, another match, or just something else entirely along, same game of course, but any notes as well would be greatly appreciated, as I do read all the comments. And if you did like the video at all, just like, subscribe, share, do all the algorithm boosting stuff, and I'll see you again real soon.